day one of the YouTube vids. Coming back with the YouTube videos. I have had an idea to kind of start doing some more educational stuff, just regular training stuff. So that's going to be kind of a mixture of what this YouTube channel is going to be. It's going to be me training, working towards right now setting the Masters World Records in the 102 weight class for snatch, clean, and jerk and total. I actually have a weightlifting meet coming up this Saturday, which is going to be the first ever official weightlifting meet that I've ever done. Today we're starting a new training block. I'm actually on week 9 of training for super total, which is both weightlifting and powerlifting. I'm also going to be doing a powerlifting meet at some point throughout this year. So the program I've been on is kind of super total focused, doing a little bit of squat, bench, and dead, plus snatch, clean, and jerk, trying to build everything up at the same time, which has been a lot of fun. So shout out to my coach, Chad Wesley Smith, for putting things together, letting me play around with some of this stuff as well. But session today, we're gonna be doing some box jumps, some snatches, some back squats, RDLs. I start off with the jumps mainly because I use that as a two-prong approach. It's a great warm-up before you start doing any kind of Olympic lifting. Plus, it helps with rate of force development, gets things explosive, gets you moving quickly and fast. It's very hard to move things as fast as you can during a jump, a sprint, or a throw, so I like to use those kind of things to kind of turn the CNS on, warm it up, get things firing before I go into any kind of loaded movement. So I'll do box jumps first, and then I'm going to start off with some snatch accessory stuff after that. Today's box jump is weighted box jumps, 6 sets of 3, not a lot of weight. This is like a 10-pound barbell, just something to get a little bit of load onto the body. The biggest mistake people make with box jumps is they set the boxes up and then they make the box the goal. That's not the point of a box jump. The point of a box jump is use that box to lessen the impact of landing, to kind of save your legs and system a little bit. So rather than doing a jump up in the air, landing back onto the ground where you're going to have high ground forces, you use that box just to lessen the impact as you land. The box isn't the goal. The box is there to just lessen that impact. You can use it as a measure, a standard to make sure okay, I'm at least jumping this high on every single rep. But you shouldn't be trying to jump as high as possible onto the box. Ideally, my rule that I have for me is I don't want to land below 90 degrees ever on a box jump. So I'm always trying to land above that in some fashion. So 6 sets of 3, and then we're going to move on to our first snatch exercise. Easy as that. All right, so first up for snatch is no hands, no feet snatches. I've got 3 to 4 sets of 2 to 3 reps. It's supposed to be around 100 kilos on this. I haven't done no feet, no hands snatches, and probably, maybe not even ever. I don't remember actually ever doing. I've done no feet. No hands just means no hook grip. It's supposed to help with obviously grip strength when you're not using the hook grip, but you have to be a lot more intentional with that bar path, because if it gets out of the way, it's going to slip out of the hands a little bit easier. When you have that hook grip, you see a lot of people can tend to kind of bounce that bar out in front. That hook grip kind of helps them save those kind of misses, where when you don't have that hook grip and you're just holding on to that bar, a lot of times when you make a little mistake, it feels like a lot bigger mistake because you can feel that bar moves a little differently. So that's going to be the point of this. This is basically a warm-up before I get into my actual snatch sets today, which is going to be building up to around 90% and then doing some drop-off sets on that. This is going to be my last heavier day on the snatch before that meet on Saturday. Got to turn the music off, otherwise YouTube gets angry. So, no feet, no hands, no feet snatch done. 3 sets of 2 at 100. We're going to be building up to about 90%. So for me, that's just under 140. So I think it's 139 and a half. So I'm going to go up to 140 and see how it feels. The More important thing, rather than hitting the percents today, is about making it feel as good as possible. So if I'm building up and I get to 130, 135, things are feeling off, then I don't know if I'll go all the way up to 140. As long as things are feeling good, I'm gonna continue to build. So we're gonna build up to 90%, and then we're gonna do 4 to 5 sets of 2 to 3 repetitions, anywhere between 77.5 to 85%, which is right around like that high 120, 130 range on those drop-off sets. That last one kind of buried me, it was a little off. So I built up there, I went 110, 120, 130, 140. Felt good, 140 was a little off. It kind of pushed me back a little bit, but nonetheless it was fine. I tried to build up pretty quick on that. The reason being is for the meet this coming weekend, I'm probably going to be the last lifter. So in terms of I'm probably gonna open up after everyone is done, which means I'm gonna be following myself up. So when I do build to heavy singles and stuff in my training for the last 8 weeks, I've been trying to do that almost on an EMOM style build. All right, snatches is done. Now we're on to the powerlifting portion of today's program. So next up is back squat. I'm changing my knee, I didn't even use those knee sleeves, I didn't put them on all the way, but changing the knee sleeves. What I've been doing with this program is treating my weightlifting as weightlifting sessions. So using the same equipment that I would use in a weightlifting session. So that's why I have a certain belt, certain knee sleeves, wrist wraps, that kind of stuff that I would use in a meet, just so I can get used to feeling what that equipment is gonna be like. And then when I go to the back squat, since it's a powerlifting movement, I kind of change my equipment up, because when I do a powerlifting meet, I'm going to be using different equipment on that. Except for belt, I don't know what belt I'm going to use, because I don't have that buckling powerlifting belt. The hardest part of this back squat session is going to be getting these fucking knee sleeves on. This is by far the hardest part. Oh, okay. 1. All right, let's squat. So, warm-up sets are done. Moving on to the back squat, I got 5 sets of 3 at 205 today, which is between 65–70%, I think. I'm trying to do that off the top of my head. I don't remember exactly. Somewhere between 65–70%. So 205, 5 sets of 3, and then we got some RDLs. What I like to do for my back squat, so this setup is my setup. So when I say this is how I do it, it's not because I think that's what's best, it's what I think is best for me. So if you happen to be someone with the same strong points, then this would be a great setup for you. But what I like to do is try to get my hands as close to the center of the bar as possible without touching my shoulders. That way, that gives me the strongest rack position for my back. Some people like to go wider. I like to be a little bit closer on that, just because I feel like it connects the bar to me a little bit more. Second thing I do, as you'll notice, is I have a little bit more of a narrow stance. 2 reasons. 1, I like the high bar back squat just because it's what I've always done. I've low bar squatted before. I've never felt that I was really any stronger doing the low bar. So I like to do a high bar. Second is I have extremely strong quads. So having my feet a little bit closer together, especially in that high bar position, allows me to use my strong point a little bit more. So I get to use my quads, squat heavy with that, which is what I'm good at, is using the quads. When I go a little bit wider, I feel a little bit too much in my adductors and groin and hips, and I don't feel like I get out of the hole as easy. So I like to put my feet a little bit closer in order to get a better push out of the bottom. So that's my setup for the back squat. Now we're gonna do 5 sets of 3. So, I feel like this is the part where I'm supposed to say like, subscribe, do all that, but do whatever you want. No, if you want ways to support me, you can like, you can subscribe. The channel is going to be something that that I would like to continue to do. And now that I have somebody that can edit these videos, which is the big reason why I haven't done these in the past, is because filming and editing and doing all that kind of stuff takes a lot of time. And being a single father, you don't have a lot of free time. And the free time that you do have, you don't necessarily want to spend that doing extra work. So shout out to Nikolaj, who's out in Denmark. He's going to be editing all these videos for me and making these things look as dope as possible, because Lord knows he's better at that than I am. So I appreciate that. Thank you for partnering up with me and making this channel possible. And then other than that, head over to my Instagram, Storypapi, and purchase the unit program. If you want to have a program that's similar to mine, it isn't the program that I'm doing right now. That program will be coming soon. More details on that. There's some big announcements that'll probably be dropping spring, summertime, on how you can train more like me on a consistent basis moving forward with your training. But until then, unit phase 1, unit phase 2, there's a new bundle price on my Instagram. Just go to the link in the bio. $100 for both. Save 20% when you do that. Otherwise, see you next time. And who knows when that'll be. Maybe it'll be tomorrow. Maybe it'll be next week. I don't know. We're going to figure out how long it takes to get these things bumped out. But peace.